I can never fail, I can never lose. That's the only life I know. Full of the spirit when I step into the place. That's the only way I go. Yes, I know who I am. I can never fail, I can never lose. That's the only life I know. Full of the spirit when I step into the place. That's the only way I go. I got the life of God in me. I can never fail, I can never lose. That's the only life I know. Full of the spirit when I step into the place. That's the only way I go. That's the way I go. I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle. I can never ever fail. I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle. I'm not ordinary. I'm a miracle. I know. I'm a miracle. Every day. I'm a miracle. Doesn't matter what I say. I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle. I know. I'm a miracle. They cannot explain, they cannot understand how I prosper in everything that I lay my hand. Anywhere I go, I bring brightness and I glow. The hand of God is mighty in my life and it shows. I've got the word of the Spirit in my mouth when I speak it. God is talking. I've got the word of the Spirit in my mouth when I speak it. God is talking. Sure you know me, I know things better, get it plenty grace, I'm unstoppable. Sure you know me, I know things better, get it plenty grace, I'm unstoppable. I can never ever tell. I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle. Don't call me miracle. I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle, 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 I'm a miracle. See my life is moving from glory to glory. Oh brother, I know they go you. Oh sister, when you look at me, the goodness and mercy, it's on my side because they follow me. See my life is moving from glory to glory. Oh brother, I know they go you. Oh sister, when you look at me, the goodness and mercy, it's on my side, they follow me. Success is a champion, failure is nothing. Moving higher, higher every day. Standing on the mountain, all I see is victory. Victory all the way, I'm a miracle. So I can never ever lose. I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle. So I can never ever fail. I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle. I'm not the man I used to be. I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle. This is the glory of the Lord. I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle, I'm a miracle. I'm empowered by the Spirit of the Lord. What I cannot do, it does not exist. Oh, I'm empowered by the Spirit of the Lord. What I cannot do, it does not exist. Oh, everybody say, empowered by the Spirit of the Lord. What I cannot do, it does not exist. Oh, empowered by the Spirit of the Lord. Hallelujah. I can never fail, I can never lose. That's the only life I know. Full of the Spirit when I step into the place. That's the only way I go.
Hi guys, good evening everybody. Good evening those that are joining now, and good evening those that are going to watch the replay later. Today is an amazing day. It's excuse me please, it's day one of our first hangout for the year. I'm so excited for everyone who is here live, and I'm even more excited for those who are going to catch the replay later. I definitely know that there's something here for everybody. There's a package in here for everybody, and I'm excited that you get to be a partaker of the package, basically. And So I have to say a very big welcome. Welcome to Kingmakers Global Academy. My name is Rejoice Azuka. For those that are just joining KMGA for the first time, my name is Rejoice Azuka. In fact, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to reach out to your friends, send them a message, post out this link, and get them to come and join us. What we're going to share today is so power packed that I don't feel like anybody deserves to miss today. Nobody deserves to miss today. Everybody needs to be a part of it. So let your friends know, spread the link, let them know that they should come and learn. Let's all learn together. I have amazing things that God showed me about focus that I want to share with you. I have so many things that God spoke to me about focus that I want to let you know. I want you to partake of it and be a part of the journey and of the process. All right. So welcome, welcome, welcome those just joining us. Hello, Ife. Hello, Oluwaseyi. Hello, Iko. Hello, Toby. Hello, Judith. Hello, Ifelua. Hello, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. So we're gonna give another 1 minute for people to join in. We're just gonna give another 1 minute and then let everyone join in while we begin tonight's class. Right? So welcome to Kingmakers. Welcome to Kingmakers Global Academy. I'm going to do a quick 30-second countdown and then we're going to get this party started. All right. Hi, everybody. And one more time, you are welcome to today's session. So, our word for the year at Kingmakers is focus. It's focus. And I remember when that word came, it was like, what a word for the year. You know, what was God trying to show us? What was God trying to tell us? What was God trying to say to us? And then so many church organizations, now we're a coaching company, but so many churches began to talk about light, began to talk about glory, began to talk about paying attention, and many churches began to speak about transformation. And it was like, okay, God, you're saying something. And then by then, we already had our word settled in our heart. But the word focus was such an odd word to begin the year with. And so we needed a bit of a little bit more explanation. And God said the word focus, focus. Like it was not, He wasn't. And then just like if you've looked at our social media page, you would see like a bull's eye, something with a bull's eye, and it's just posted up there. And I kept looking at that picture for a while, and it was like, pay attention, pay close attention. Everything that you do this year must come from a place of intentionality. Everything that you do this year must not be done carelessly. It must done from the place where we have paid attention. And so I'm very, very intentional this year about these hangouts. So every month, by God's grace, we're going to be having these hangouts every Wednesday at 5 p.m., every third Wednesday of the month at 5 p.m., where all the alumni of KMGA who has gone through the academy would come in and check up on each other. We would just have a bit of a conversation to strengthen and empower each other, and then just remind ourselves about the word for the year. So it would be like a check-in time to know, how am I doing with this word? How has this word shaped me? How has this word helped me? How has this word made me better? And so for this month and next month, I'm going to take time to teach extensively about focus and the process of achieving focus, because focus is not just something that you wake up one morning and say, I want to be focused, I want to pay attention, I want to just begin to do things a certain way. It's a process, right? You have to work it out. You have to do the work. You have to invest in it. You have to put yourself in the middle of it. You have to say to yourself, I need to be focused, and then put in the work to be focused. And so we're going to talk about the focus framework. We're going to look at the focus framework, where I'm going to be sharing with you certain things that God laid in my heart about focus, about goal setting, and about being intentional, about channeling yourself, your time, and your energy. And so I'm going to be releasing these things to you this month and next month. So whatever we don't finish today, all right, we have the privilege of coming back to it next month and saying we're going to restart it and we're going to continue it. So if we don't finish today, just know that there is still hope. We're going to continue next month. All right. So I'm very, very intentional. So my focus, my aim for you in this year 2022 is that you win. I want you to win by the power of focus. I want you to win by being focused. And so I want you to type in the chat, this year 2022, I will win by being focused. This year 2022, I will win by being focused. This year 2022, I will win by being focused. Now, note that this video is going to be available for you to watch, for you to share with your friends, and for you to let everybody else that is around your circle know that we are being intentional about this year 2022. We're not being lackadaisical. It's not year as usual. It's not just coming through to do things as usual. We're coming in with a focus, with an intentionality and a peculiarity. All right, so let's begin. So focus has so many meanings. For many people, focus has many different meanings, and it's dependent on the context that it's being used. But if you check it very well, all around, focus is dependent on the state of clarity. When something is clear to you, you're focused on it. For example, if I drop this pen and you don't need it, you don't have to look at it because you don't need it. But I need it. There's a book on my table, and then I can write on my book because I have a pen to write with and I have a need to write. If I did not have a need to write, I would not write. Okay, recently I've been reading a whole lot of books and doing a whole lot of studying since the beginning of this year. I've read about 14 books since this year started. I've read 14 books since this year started, and then I began to take notes. Normally, I would use my notepad to write down things and to jot down things, but I learned the art of now using reading and having my notes open, so the double screen, and so I don't have to necessarily carry a pen and paper while I study. I can do it on my tab at the same time. I can read the book and write my notes on my tab. And as I was able to do that, so all of a sudden, my tab that used to be empty now has so many notes in it. Why? Because I'm putting it to work. I'm now using it to prepare for teachings, understanding frameworks, doing research, and going through things. So I win by being focused. I'm paying attention. I'm reading my books. I'm praying in the Holy Ghost. I'm doing the things that I need to do, laying the basic foundation for me to win. And so this year, I want to invite you intentionally to come into a place where you win by being focused. So when we're talking about focus, we're talking about number one, understanding clarity. Number two is a point of convergence. If you look at the bull's eye, you see those little circles, you see the big circle, the other circle till you get to that center, which is the middle one. So for focus, there's a point of convergence, there's a meeting point. And thirdly, there's a center of interest and activity. But one of the things that we're going to be emphasizing this year is mental focus. Mental focus towards physical transformation, towards total life transformation. So we want you to focus on your mind, focus on renewing your mind, on transforming your mind. So mental focus is our ability to concentrate, to direct our attention, our energy, and our priorities onto something. Our mental focus is our ability to concentrate and direct our attention, energy, and priorities onto something. So our attention refers to our time. Number two, it refers to our energy. Number three, it refers to our priorities. What is important, not just to me, but to my life right now? What are the things that I need to do to win this year? What are the things that I need to have in place to thrive this year? What do I need particularly to make the highest amount of progress that I need to make? So I'm not just talking about going through life like everybody else, trying to move like everybody else. Now I'm intentionally taking deliberate actions to see that I am meeting those priorities, seeing that I am intentionally growing this year. So, how many books do I need to read to meet it? What kind of books do I need to read to meet it? What kind of conversations do I need to begin to sit in to begin to meet those targets? So you see now that it goes beyond just saying that, oh, I want to achieve this, I want to do this, I want to do that. It goes beyond all of that. There is an entire process that you need to go through. Now, talking about energy, time, and priority. Many times when we're planning our lives and planning our year, we tend to plan based on time and priorities, and we ignore energy. And that has seriously robbed us because we're not maximizing our lives. I was listening to one of my mentors speak, and then he said something. He said, our life is divided into our time, our priorities, and our energy. But when I was studying, I felt God say to me, your life is divided into your time, your energy, and your priorities. I want you to write it out that way in your book, in the chat. I want you to type it out. My life is divided into my time, my energy, and my priorities. My time, my energy, and my priorities. Now, I'm going to break that down for you because before I come back to this subject of focus, and I really need you to pay close attention. First of all, life is defined by time. And that's why when we begin to talk about life, we talk about someone's lifetime. So the amount of time that you spend for your life. So life is measured in time. So for example, if I'm on the phone 12 hours a day for the next 20 years and I'm not doing anything productive, it means that I have spent half of my decade on the phone and I have nothing to show for it. So with everything clamoring to take our attention, we must define how much time do I have. We must be very clear on how much time do I have. And I want everybody to ask yourself this question: how much time do I have? Because here's the truth of this whole matter: you don't have enough time. God has given each of us a specific amount of time that we're going to live on the earth. And so if you don't awaken quickly to begin to make the right life choices, to begin to make the right decisions, to begin to take the right actions for your life and for your destiny, you will realize that you'll come to the end of your life and realize, I've wasted time. I've never really achieved anything. Oh, wow. So now I understand what I came here to live for. And many times you may achieve it, but the fulfillment of destiny part, you may never really feel it. Okay, let's picture this. A man buying his first bicycle at age 90. A man buying his first bicycle at age 90. How is he going to feel? Is he going to feel like I achieved something? And will he be able to enjoy that thing that he felt he has achieved? At age 90, you're coming in at age 90 and you're saying, I now have a bicycle. People are having jets, people have cars. You say you have a bicycle. Now that's growth, that's progress. You've seen results, something has happened to you. But at the end of the day, measure it that it took you 90 years to own your first bicycle. 90 years. And so there are certain times in our lives that are known as our prime times. Those are times of intense achievement. Those are times that we're supposed to put in the work. Those are times that we're supposed to go hard at life. Those are times that you can afford to sleep for 3 hours, 4 hours, so that you can achieve a certain result. Those are times where you're putting in the work, you're putting in the hours, you're putting in the commitment, you're putting everything in to ensure that this is my intended goal. This is what I want to achieve at age 30. This is where I want to be at age 35. This is where I want to be at age 40. These are the circles I want to sit in when I'm 40. And this is what I'm doing to get there. And so, know how much time do I have? What's my peak age? So, for example, for some of us, our peak ages can be 25 to 40. Those are times where we can be awake, we can start companies, we can run around, we can do things. From 40, you're beginning to think legacy, you're thinking continuity, you're thinking, how is this thing going to outlive me? How is it that this thing can still run when I'm not in the room? How can I impact the next generation? How can I work with the next generation to see the results that they want to see? So you see, it's not just coming and saying, well, I've achieved so and so. No, it's not just that. There's so much more than that. And we must put our head down and get to work. And I want every one of us to intentionally get to work. So number one, time. How much time do I have? So if you're turning 25 this year, you realize I'm entering into my peak years. I'm entering into my prime of life. And I have the next 15 years to thrive in this prime. That's how much time you have. You're clear about it. If you're turning 28, you realize, okay, I've spent the last 3 years, I can't really account for it, but now I have the next 12 years to be focused. So that it's not at the end of your life, you become frustrated. What did I achieve? How can I account for my life? How can I account for my time? What can I say that I've given myself to? What can I say that I've spent my life doing? That's on a long-term scale. If we come down to a short-term scale, your month, okay, what am I hoping to achieve by the end of this month? And how much time am I committing to achieving it? You come down to a daily level. How many hours a day do I have? Remove eating, remove sleeping. Then how many hours a day do I have? Now, what am I going to do at certain hours of the day? And then be intentional, schedule it, plan yourself. We cannot afford to begin to live life on whatever will be, will be. You wake up in the morning and then I call you and say, what are you doing today? You're like, I'm not sure. And then I say, okay, leave, come to my house. You come to my house. There's no aim, there's no plan, there's no way that what I've called you for is going to add value to your life. Because whatever it is that is happening must intentionally add value. You must know that your time is not being wasted. For example, I can schedule, okay, in a week, I'm going to intentionally spend 6 hours with the people I love. I'm going to commit to spending 6 hours. Okay, how many days in a week? There's 7 days in a week. And so I'm committing to spending 45 minutes daily to talk, to catch up, to know how can I be of help to you. So this is like an intentional time where I'm not pressing my phone. I'm not doing anything else. If you call me at those times, I'm not going to talk to you, because those times are family times, loved one times. I'm committed to it, so that I don't need the bid to start chasing impact everywhere else and ignore and neglect my own inner carcass and my family. So that my parents are not getting updates of my life on social media. So I'm intentionally spending time with them. I'm intentionally telling them, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. This is how I'm now positioning myself for this and this and this and this. So we're having those conversations. Now they are aware this is what's going on in her life. I put in my week. This is what I want to achieve. This is how many books I want to read this month. If I spread it across the weeks in the month, this is how many books it means I'm reading weekly. So I put it to work. I put myself to work. I say, okay, this means that I'm reading for 3 hours daily. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I realized that this, for example, for me, January is like a retreat month for me, a month to just stay in-house, work, plan, retreat and the likes of it. And so I'm putting in as much groundwork as possible. So I can't compare myself to maybe you that has school and you're in class, you're writing exams. So you cannot put yourself under pressure and say, oh, she has read 14 books. Today is the 19th of January. What am I doing with my life? No. I'm indoors now. I'm not traveling for meetings. All I'm doing is we're taking prayers. Centers prayer cruise is currently on. We're praying 5 hours daily. So during the day, I have the time to study. I have the time to pray. I have the time to wait on the Lord, to meditate, to read books. And so I have a bit of time on my hands. But starting from February, when I have to start traveling for meetings, when I have to start sitting in meetings, board meetings, and the likes of those, and beginning to impute conversations, my life is going to get a bit busier. And so that means those times that I had now, I need to maximize it and realize, okay, now is my rest month. I'm putting in rest times. I'm putting in leisure times to rest my brain. I'm a human being, not a machine. So the aim of focus really is to make you well-rounded, is to make you balanced, so that you're not winning in the workplace, but your home life is suffering. And for those of you that are married in relationships, you're not winning in your business. You're not making your first million in April, and your husband is like, I have not seen my wife in 3 months. You see, there's this intentionality that there's a balance everywhere. Or a wife is not saying to her husband, I don't know what's going on with you. We've not sat down to talk. We've not communicated. There's no level of accountability. There is nothing that is happening that I know that is going on currently in your life. And so in that moment, we need to be focused. We need to understand that life is divided into your time, your energy, and your priorities. So how are you spending your time? The second is your energy. You need to know which times am I at my peak. When will you get me talking? When will you get me in a conversation and I'm mentally prepared? I'm physically present. I'm just there. I can give you vibes upon vibes. I can teach you, break things down. When are my peak times? You see, for me, in the afternoon when it's hot, I can get cranky. I can't make decisions at those times. So if I have a choice, I won't put my decision meetings in the afternoons, because especially in these Hamatan times where in the afternoons everywhere is just hot, I think better in the morning. My brain is sharper in the morning. If I have a clarity call with you early hours in the morning, I give you my best. So I realize that my peak time is from 4 to 10. Those times are the best times. My brain is clear. My mind is clear. I can give you everything that you need. Now, so I know now that, oh, if I want to have a very important meeting, schedule it in the morning. If I want to rest and relax, in the afternoons. Because if I'm resting and relaxing in the afternoon, I'm catching up on sleep, I'm doing light readings, things that don't require me to think deeply. For example, this month I'm rereading the book History Maker by Dr. Cinder Trim. I'm rereading it. That's not a light read. I cannot read it in the afternoon. Let me read that book in the night. Let me read it. And so I realize afternoons are not my best times. So I will not channel things that require heavy energy in the afternoons. Evenings, I'm refreshed. And so I can have meetings like this by 5 p.m. and I can come out and tell you, this is what you need to do. This is the framework. This is how to go about it. You may be thinking this is how she is all day, but I have seen my energy times, and I know that, man, if I want to give these guys my best, I got to do it at 5 p.m. I have to do it at 6 p.m. I have to do it at 7 p.m. Those are my peak times. That's energy. And you don't just do it on a time level. You do it on a weekly level. For example, Mondays are my rest days. You cannot get me to do anything productive for you on a Monday. You just can't. Anything I'm doing for you on a Monday, I'm giving you highest a 60%. Mondays are my off days. Why? Because Thursdays to Sundays are my high energy days. And so if you've ever done a KMGA coaching class, you will see that most of our classes are Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Those are our peak times. And so I will give you my 100% on those days. That if I'm teaching you, you believe, my God, this woman is a born teacher. No. But you see, on those days, I'm putting in the work. On those days, I can, it's a high peak day for me. Mondays are my day off. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my days to create. If I'm working on a framework for a book, content for social media, content for even our courses, Mondays and Tuesdays, those are my days to create. My creativity is on another peak. And so you see, I've divided my life in those days. Some of us may not have that privilege of dividing our lives that way. But you can harness your energy. Okay, when am I best energized? What are the things I can do to make sure that I'm being most productive at these times? I just want to make sure that everybody understands and is with me right now, that I've not lost anybody yet, because I'm just laying a foundation to focus. So I want to see in the chats that everyone is with me, everybody understands, everybody gets it, everybody. So I want to see responses in the chats, please. And then you can even bring it down to a month level. For some of you, you have to learn to take vacations. Take a break. I mean, even if you work, there are times that you get time off, months off. Choose a month that you know you need rest, especially after very busy months. So for me, I know July is our busiest month in the ministry. July is like an all-time busy, stretching month for me. So what do? August, I take a break. I go on a retreat August. I used to go on retreats in December. And take a break in December. And then the Lord told me, switch from December to January. And so this year, for the first time, I'm doing a January retreat instead of my normal December retreat. So normally Decembers are like time off. I don't talk to you, I don't see you, I don't know you. They're just my time with God. But this year for me, it's January. So you see that it's not just on on paper, on a large time level. Bring it down. Start from your months. Divide your months. You know your work, the kind of work you do. You know the type of office that you work in. What times are the peak months for you guys? And how can you prepare for it? Either you go on the break before the peak months or after the peak months, so that you're giving your best. I know of a lady, and the Lord had me pay attention to her last year, and I paid attention to her. She goes on 1 month off every quarter. After she finishes major business deals, she goes off for a month. And by the time she comes back with another massive thing. So she's not as scared to come out of the limelight, because some of us, we feel like, oh my God, if I go off social media, my life is going to end, my life is going to crash, my business, nobody is going to recognize me. They say we should post every day, be in people's faces. I cannot afford not to be in people's faces. Okay, even if you have to be in people's faces, thank God for apps that allows you to post when you are not even there. So you don't have to be online to post. Not anymore. You don't have to actively be online to post. So what happens in those times? Do you understand? So there are apps like Hootsuite, right? Yeah, Hootsuite is an app that you can use, and you can upload things, and then it posts for you on the time you ask it to. So you don't have to be online, even if you have to do that. And then sometimes give people the opportunity to miss you. If you're if you want to even test how valuable you are, give people the opportunity to miss you. Go off for a month and then come back. Go off for 2 weeks, go off for 1 week. Do you understand, everybody? So let's be intentional. Let's begin to put in work and plan our energy. Know your most energetic times. If you work well when it's hot, please, your peak time is in the afternoon. If you need something cool, plan yourself that way so that you can build accurately. Many of us are not even self-aware to know those things. And this is why part of focus is asking yourself questions and paying attention to yourself. One of the things that God is insisting for us this year is a self-awareness. Okay, what is taking my most time? Where is my money going to? Do you understand? Where is my money going to? At the end of the month, that's where you begin to look at your bank statement. You're looking at your bank statement is not a sin. Looking at your bank statement is not demonic. Look at your bank statement. Where is the most of my money going to? For example, for me last year, bulk of my money went into data and fuel. So those ones, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I need data to be online. Most of what I do requires me to be online. I need fuel to run. For example, there's no power, there's no light right now. And so my gen is on, and that's how I'm recording this video. Because if my gen is not on, then I'm not able to be online right now. So be self-aware. Where is my money going to? Where is most of my time going to? And what returns am I getting from? So become self-aware. Where am I spending my most energy? Is it worth it? Some of you need to begin to ask yourself those questions about your friendships. There are certain friends that you leave and you feel drained. Like you spend 2 hours with them and you feel drained after speaking with them. There are certain friends that you hang out with and you're like, this was a complete waste of my time. You need to become aware of those people and stop hanging around them. Stop hanging around them. There are certain people that you go to see, and when you leave the place, you begin to ask yourself, okay, what just happened? What did we even talk about? No, you must be able to account for your conversation, spend with your time, because it's your life you're spending. My friends and I, when we don't talk often because we're all very busy people. But when we talk, at the end of our conversations, I bring up my jotter and I write down, okay, this is what she has told me to work on. This is what she has advised me to do. Or this is a prophetic word that came from this, my friend. That means the conversation was productive. I didn't waste my time. Even if you're on courtship with somebody, you cannot finish talking to the person and all you feel is, I want to be hugged and be held. No, sometimes let your courtship conversations be productive. Let it make you think, okay, what are we building? How can I put in the work to be better? Okay, what about the future is settled now after this conversation? Can you tell us that? Like, what about the future is settled after that conversation? So it's not just sitting down and having conversations. You need to be very specific and know, okay, this is it. This is how my life is going. Because many times we finish our day and we come and we say things like, oh, there should be more than 24 hours in a day. What have you done with your 24 hours? Can you break down your 24 hours for me so that if we're giving you more time, we can know that you are using it well? But if you have all these things, all these clusters that are time eating, then you realize that I need to separate myself from this situation. Like, this friendship cannot continue. You're spending about 1 hour with me today, an hour plus with me today, right? At the end of this 1 hour, you should be able to leave and say, this is what I got from this 1 hour. I didn't waste my time. I didn't waste my data. Because number one, your time is involved. Your money is involved. Your attention is involved. So it's not just coming to you and saying, so guys, I just want to say, did you see the map behind me? My God, these are the countries I want to go to. And then I'm making it me focused. But here we're having a conversation. It's a dialogue. You're thinking, okay, what about me needs to be worked on after this? What do I need to upgrade after this? What do I need to get better after this? You're becoming intentional. If I'm going to say I'm having a family video call with my tribe people, with my friends, it better not be man we're talking about for 2 hours. Now, don't get me wrong. You can have fun, but don't let your entire life be about cruise. Your entire life just can't be about cruise. So our ability to concentrate and direct our attention and energy onto something. So when you know your best energy times, then you can arrange your life in priority. My fellowship with God is at number one for me. So I do it at those times that I'm at my peak. I don't give God times when I'm tired. I give God times when I'm at my best. And so that means, excuse me, please. That means for me, prayer times early in the morning, prayer times late at night, my peak times. I'm at my best. So that when God is speaking, I'm sharp to pick up. Rest times. When I'm not at my best, I obviously need to rest. Trying to do anything productive at those times, they just don't make sense. Decision making times. When my brain is clear, early in the morning, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock meetings. Those are times if I want to make a business decision. Those that have worked closely with me for a very long time will tell you sometimes they will wake up in the morning to messages from me, instructions, things that need to get done. Why? Because at my peak time, I was able to be creative, to think, to come up with ideas, to give instructions, and then we're able to run with it. See, put in the work. I want to create content. I want to work on my book. Right now, I'm working on a book and it's going to be out in March. I'm working on a book and I work on it Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I wasn't able to work on it today because I had a lot of meetings lined up that I had to attend to. But yesterday I worked on it. Gave another 5 pages. Right now is at 35 pages. Then we'll keep going till God says you're done. Put in the work. What's the work that you need to put in? Know when you need to put it in. Some of you are students. That's a priority. That's a priority. Your academics is important. God, your family, your academics. Don't tell me no relationship. Your academics, not even student leadership. Your academics takes precedence over that because your parents did not pay school fees for you to be some SUG president somewhere. You came to school to learn, so learn. And until you leave that place, that academics is your priority. You can do other things in the background, they are supplementary, but that one takes precedence. So don't come and tell me, and God said school is not important. School is important. School is not a scam. Put in the work that needs to be put in. Go through it. Come out with a good degree. Even if you're going to own a business company, you need to be book smart. Follow those bandwagons that say school is a scam, school is not working, school is this, school is that. No, school is important. The academic system might need work and reformation, but with what we have, we need to be able to put in the work too. We need to be able to have conversations with ourselves and tell ourselves, okay, this is it all. This is it. If you're married, your family is important over your career. I know we want to be at the front line of the things we're doing, but not at the expense of family. There's way too many broken homes. And if you check the core of the brokenness, it's not that there's no money, it's not that they don't love each other, it's just that time is not being put in. And whatever you don't put in time to, you can't expect anything out of it. You have to put in time to communicate. Talk to each other. For those of you that are married, when last did you gist with your husband? Just gisting. Not, babe, bill needs to be paid. Babe, this one needs to be done. Babe, this one. When last did you spend time being friends? Today I went somewhere and I saw a man and his wife on a date. It was so beautiful to see that they are intentionally creating time for their marriage. So put in the work. If you have children, don't leave the raising of your children to nannies and teachers in school and Sunday school teachers. You've got to put in the work with those children. Because we're in a generation where children are saying, my nanny was more of a mother to me than my mother. No. I understand the business, I understand the hustle, I understand the work, but you cannot push those things away. So put your life in an order of priorities, and that's going to change as your circumstances changes. As a student, your priorities is going to be different when you enter into a career. So you shift, you have a meeting with yourself and sit down and say, okay, now my priorities are this. As a single person, your priority shifts when you're married. And the first couple of times, it may be rough, you may miss a couple of things, but the more you intentionally put in the work, the more results you get, the better you get at it. And so begin to put the work, begin to ask the questions, begin to have the conversations. If you want to fast track your career, you begin to plan it on paper. Know what you need to do. If you want to start a business, what's the plan to start? How are you raising the capital? This is what we're talking about, the ability to concentrate your attention, your energy, your priorities. Ability to concentrate it and focus your time, your focus your energy, focus your priorities. No, focus on your focus. So when we say mind your business, we're not saying be selfish. What we're saying is face your front. Like, look at your own life. Before you go and start looking for the speck in another person's life, deal with yours first. Because you can't be telling me I have speck in your eyes and I'm looking at your eyes and there's a log. The fake life won't work anymore. Wow. Guys, it's like 5:52 and I've only done 2 lines in the teachings. So we need to work on ourselves. Focus is not just a state of mind. Focus is an active approach, an active thing. So you put in the work, active, and if we paid attention in school, we know that verbs are action words. They mean the doing words. So it requires an active approach. Give in that active approach. So while I wrap up, I'm going to give time for questions. I'm going to wrap up in the next 5-10 minutes, 5 minutes tops, and then I'm going to answer your questions. We've not even, I want to show you guys something, right? I want to show you something. You see, we've not even gone half of the teaching. We're still in paragraph 1. So this is starting to look like a 3-month thing or 4 months than just a 1 month thing, because these are hangouts are normally for 1 hour. So I'm going to give you time to ask questions while I try to wrap up our thoughts that we've talked about. All right. So we've talked about focus being a state of clarity, talked about a point of convergence and a center of interest to activity. And then we brought it and narrowed it down to say that our word for the year is mental focus. Mental focus is the ability to concentrate and direct our attention, and our ability to concentrate or direct our energy onto something. That's direct our time, energy, and priorities onto something. So you're focused on your life, you're focused on your future, you're focused on the things that you're doing, you're focused on the results that you want to see. And then also began to touch on the fact that time is the measure of life. So if I want to measure my life, I measure it in time. And that's why we say things like lifetime. And then we also began to look at also how that we need to be aware, self-aware and conscious of our energies. Where our energies being directed to? What is taking the most of my energy? If I say that work is taking the most of my energy, then how am I able to put in the work right so that I can get the best out and the most out of my life? And then how can I maintain my energy? How can I sustain my energy? And we talked about frequent rest, frequent retreats, taking cool down moments where you just take some time and step down. No, step down. Life is not that difficult. Take a break. Go on a walk. Some of you, if you leave your apartment complex, you realize that new buildings had come up and you had not never seen them because you've been so focused on everything but around you. Or you notice that one of your neighbors have moved and you didn't even realize. So take time to smell the roses. Those are important too. They bring in fresh perspective. One of the things that my friend and I started last year was that we started going to different restaurants in the city to try them. And we'd choose a day and we'd go to a restaurant and just to try the food, to change the environment. I think we've gone to like 4 or 5 restaurants, and we realized that some of these restaurants we think are very expensive are actually not. And we sit there, we changed sceneries and we had conversations, we met people that we would not ordinarily meet in our spaces. So we came out of our comfort zone. So do things like that intentionally. Intentionally begin to do things like that. Intentionally go out and say, oh, yeah, I want to go to this room. I want to go and see a movie. Although be careful what your eyes take in, right? Don't just be careless and say, I want to see a movie and then see any kind of movie and then your eyes is corrupted and all of that. So be careful what you see and all that. Go and see it. Go and see a movie. Go for a play. I don't know if Nigeria has ballet or anything like that. Go and watch them. Different spaces can turn on different things in you. I mean, there was this restaurant we went to and it birthed a course for KMG. I know. Just the scenery and how everything, the fluidity of it. I got perspective for certain things inside the restaurant. So all I needed was probably that change of scenery, that heightened level of creativity that the restaurant brought. And then priorities. What is important to you now? And arrange your life like that so that you don't get cramped, you don't get overwhelmed, you don't lose track of your life, and then you don't wake up one morning and say, wow, I'm 40. Where did all the time go? So, any questions? Is somebody typing a question? Is somebody typing a question? If you're typing a question, just type yes, and I would know that I'm looking forward to you to answering your question. So this year, we win by focus. We win by focus. We win by focus in the year 2022. We become self aware, we become self conscious, we set goals, winning goals, and we put our goals to work. Some of the migraines that you feel, some of the headaches that you feel is not necessarily that you're ill, it's just that your brain has been overstretched and your brain just needs a break. So sometimes headache just means leave that thing you're doing, take a nap, you wake up, you feel better, drink water. And some of us need to put our health as part of our priority too. Put your health as part of your priority. Your health is important. What health actions are you taking? Like, we cannot continue the life of drinking Coke every day this year. There has to be healthier ways to win, right? We cannot continue the sedentary habits. And I'm terrible for that. I can sit on the computer for hours and not stand up. Once I'm about to sit down the computer, if I bring my water and bring whatever it is I want and keep it around me so that whatever I want, I just pick it and drink. I may not stand up from that place for a long time. So what did I learn? Take breaks, stand up, walk around. So be intentional about your health too. Your health is important. Regular checkups, not because you are looking for something, but because sometimes there are certain things that are our diet, for example, can be so concentrated that certain things are missing in our life, and you may need to take supplements for them or begin to eat things towards that area. Some of us ladies, we have, for example, heavy flow periods. Sorry to the guys that are watching, but it's just an example. Heavy flow periods. And with your heavy flow, you're losing a whole lot of iron, and it makes you very weak in those times. Those times, take iron supplements. Those periods of your period, increase your vegetable intake. You see, you're getting on top of it so that you don't have to become sick during your period times. Many of the cramps that ladies feel on their periods are thanks to sugary things we eat before or during period times. Reduce your sugar intake, the cramps will reduce. Some of it is demonic, but at the same time, some of it is also based on your physical life choices. If you realize that when you climb up and down the stairs, you're out of breath, maybe you need to begin to take longer walks. From my house to the junction is about 15 minutes. Do it back and forth. That's a 30-minute walk I've put into my day. I may not be able to go to gym yet and lift weights, but I've done something that has shifted that sedentary lifestyle. I've moved around. All right? So be intentional about your health too. Don't put your health at the back burner. Don't say the health is not important. The health is very important. Because if you're not healthy, then everything you're chasing is going to go down the drain. So you've got to be healthy, and your life choices will affect it. If you listen to interviews of people like what's his name, Elon Musk, and many CEOs, like the former CEO of Pepsi in Daranoe and the likes of them, they are very particular about their schedules. Elon Musk says he's productive in the mornings, and so he wakes up at 4 a.m. In fact, most of them wake up at 4 a.m., go to the gym for an hour, meditate for 2 hours, eat breakfast, go to work. For some of us that fasting is great. But actually pray. Don't just go on a hunger strike. If you're going to fast, please put out time to pray. So take intentional actions and say, okay, I'm fasting today. That means I'm going to add to my schedule an hour of prayer, an hour of studying the word, or even reading the word, listening to a message. Those of us that are good at multitasking, you can listen while you pray, or you can listen and be doing work, as long as you won't make a mistake, right? So become self aware, self conscious. It's not a life of selfishness, but self consciousness. Be aware of yourself. Many of us need to learn. Part of our priorities this year should be no's. Learn to say no. This does not work for me. No, not at this time. I cannot commit to this at this time. Say no. Learn to say no's. Intentionally learn it. Not out of wickedness, but out of self preservation. There are times when I used to go out of my ways to do things for people and stretch myself. And I come back of them feeling very ill, and I can break down for weeks after that. And the people I did it for, they are grateful I did it for them. But I'm suffering the consequences of my yes. So I had to sit down and tell myself, Rejoice, say no. This cannot work. I have an amazing executive assistant and PAs that I work with. Part of what they do for me is helping me say no. There are certain offers and opportunities that come my way that they've had to help me say, no, she can't, not right now. Why? Because looking at my life, looking at my schedule, it's an overwhelm. It's like added work and the consequence on my body. So I may love you so much and just want to say yes, but it's not just convenient for me at the time. And so these days I've learned not to be offended at people's no's. Do you understand? Don't be offended at people's no's because you don't know the circumstances surrounding those no's. Those no's are self-preservation sometimes. That people need to just protect themselves and say, if I keep saying yes, I'm going to break down. I may get sick. It just won't work. So learn to say no's. That's part of focus. For example, if a fashion company comes to me now and says, we want you to be our ambassador and what's it called? Model. I will check my priorities. Is modeling part of my priorities? No, it's not right now. I'm sorry. I cannot be a model. I can wear your clothes intentionally and then tag you on it to let people know that I'm wearing your clothes, but I just won't make it my priority. You see? I'm okay with saying no. Is it extra income to model? Yes. But if I add that to my portfolio, is that moving me towards my vision, towards my purpose, towards my mandate? You see? These are things that we need to ask ourselves. It's not just a straight cut yes or no. You need to see the long-term effect of your decisions. How is this thing going to affect me long term? How is this thing going to come back to impact me on a long term? Some of you watching right now just signed up for DS. Part of winning in DS would mean cutting off some things, exiting some groups. Is this adding to my productivity? You cannot be in 100 groups. You are not mad. You are fine. You are sane. And then they are not just taking your phone space. You're getting notifications. Some of you this year turn down leadership positions, say not right now. My schedule can't handle it. Except God says go ahead. I'm going to tell you this and then wrap up. Um, a mentee of mine invited me to sit on the board of his business. Great opportunity. I think the board members live with yearly, they get 5% each of the company's income for the year. And it's a very prospective and lucrative startup. What did I do? I said, what is the commitment level for this? And then he told me monthly meetings, Kiniko, he listed them out. And I looked at my schedule. That's my calendar for the year, ministry calendar, KMGA calendar, and all the other calendars of several different expressions I run. And then I said, honestly, I cannot meet up to your commit to this. I cannot meet up to commit to this. So if I commit to this, I'm not going to give you my 100%. And it would not be fair to you as your board member. Saying no. No may be the greatest thing that you've ever done for yourself. So, guys, it's been amazing chatting with us today. I'm sure somebody picked up a thing or two in today's conversation. It's been great. Next month on the 16th, we are back again and we're doing Understanding Focus Part 2. And hopefully, I can actually go into my notes next month. I can actually go into my notes and we can have conversations around focus, purpose, and goal setting and winning and thriving in this year. So please take the things that you've heard today, put it to work. Don't become knowledge obese, that you are collecting knowledge everywhere and learning so much and then realizing that it's not working, you're not making progress and all of that. No, actually apply the things that you're learning. If you're going to give your time and attention, put in your time, put in your attention as well. And then DS is starting on Sunday. For those of you in Deborah Squad, we want to welcome you to Kingmakers Global Academy, and we're so excited to have you. And we have something interesting coming up for you. First, before I show you that, we have a leadership challenge. Yay! It's a leadership challenge. Hashtag leadership. Hashtag leadership revolution. It's a leadership challenge. It's going to be from February 1st to February 21st. So follow us on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Telegram. Follow us on all our social media handles for further instructions on the challenge. There's amazing prizes to be won. I guess there's a scholarship to be a part of the leadership course, and then also membership to certain organizations that we're running as well. And so also there is the leadership course, is only 5,000 naira. It's for 4 days and it's going to change your life. And why did I say it's going to change your life? Here's the curriculum. I want to share with you the curriculum. First is divided into four for the 4 days. Number one, leading you. Number two, leading others. Number three, leading change. And number four, continuity. So you gotta get in the room. It's only 5K. It is only 5K. It's not much. It's not, we're not, what's it called? We're not trying to scam you or steal your money. There is value for it. So be a part of this, be a part of this, be a part of this. There's so much to talk about. And it's going to be, I think, 3 hour long sessions. I know I'm going to be teaching you for 3 hour long sessions. Yep, I'm going to spend time to teach you, spend time to show you, spend time to speak to you on leadership. And really, you should follow us on social media this year because we have so many amazing offers for you as you go on ahead. So, happy new year, everybody, from all of us at Kingmakers Academy, from the team, the counselors, and everybody pretty much. We just want to say a big happy new year. Welcome to our year of focus. We promise to serve you better. We promise to love you better and be more committed to you. We really look forward to you being a part of our lives. The replay is available because we are not removing the video after this. So the videos are available, and you can come back and watch them at any time. Have an amazing day, guys. We love you and see you next month. Bye for now.